Hello students, so in the previous class we people have seen, we have started the chapter 12, that is biotechnology and its application, and in that class we people have completed the biotechnological application in agriculture. That is what we have seen. Just we'll do the revision for 5 to 10 minutes, then we'll go for the next concept, that is biotechnological application in the field of medicine. So in the previous class we people have seen why we have to improve, why we have to apply the knowledge of biotechnology in the field of all the era, all the fields, like in the field of agriculture, in the field of medicines, in the field of dairy farm management, poultry farm management, totally the animal husbandry, what do we say. So why we have to apply, first of all, the basic thing is, the main basic conclusion is, scientists wanted to, that means all the people wanted to they to overcome the need of the population. Okay, that means each and every person should get at least one meal per day. That is the main intention behind the biotechnology. Okay, and they have done so many new researches, and finally they have got succeeded in those research, and they are whatever the products they have got, now they are in market with the different price. So basically, that person, poor people or middle class people or rich people, they can afford their things according to that price. Understood? For that purpose, all the products has been synthesized by using the knowledge of the biotechnology. Now, in the yesterday's class, if we see, we have seen the two main concepts, that to improve the crop plants, what is necessary. So, to improve the crop plants, usually when the insects and the pests will come and attack to the plant bodies, what they will do, they just spray the insecticides and the pesticides and the chemical fertilizers they used to spray. Of course, by spraying the chemical fertilizers or insecticides or pesticides, then improvement of the yielding can be seen. But what happens, the quality will become less, and the soil fertility will be lost there. So they wanted to avoid this concept. Okay, they wanted to avoid this one. So to avoid this, what a new technique has been done is insertion of the Bt bacteria. Okay, insertion of the bacteria inside the plant body, so that whatever the concept is there, okay, whatever concept is there, just that has been. Yes, students, I was telling that biotechnological knowledge is applied everywhere nowadays. What it was is, not a single field is there. Okay, that, like that, the for in the improvement of the crop plants, in the yesterday's class, if we see the improvement of the crop plants, what we have seen is the plant body is improved, uh, the resistance capacity, without using any of the insecticides and the pesticides and the fertilizers. How it is improved? That is by the insertion of the Bt bacteria. Bt bacteria, what it will do? It will just releases the protein, crystal protein we will say. And that crystal protein, sorry, it is releasing the cry gene. It is consisting of cry gene. Cry gene is producing a crystal protein. That crystal protein is becoming a toxic substance when it is coming in contact with the saliva. Understood? That means it is water soluble protein. Okay, it is water soluble protein. As it is coming in contact with the saliva, it is just solubilized in the water, saliva, and slowly whatever the content is that is released in the form of poison. Toxic means poison. And slowly when the insect will come, if the insect is eating a small part itself, then immediately the midgut is going to have the small pores, and the midgut is going to cut, and then we are going to see that the insect is going to die. Okay, that is a Bt cotton. In using the Bt cotton, we are explaining the insect resistant plants. So it is important for 5 marks in the final exam also. Apart from this, other worms are also killed, like Lepidopterans is there, beetles are there, okay, worms are there. So all these are the worms name, insects name, which is destroying the crops. Okay, and these, to kill these insects, cry2ab, cry2ac, all these are the cry genes for one insect, for that one gene. All these are the cry genes which has been produced by the, what produced by the Bt bacteria. Understood? That was the insect resistant plant concept. One more concept we have seen, pest resistant plant coating. So here crawling animals are going to disturb the plant body, especially the root systems are going to be affected, and the name of that particular organism is Melaleuca incognitia. So this Melaleuca incognitia is what to say is it is going to affect the root system. So the biotechnologists, what they wanted to do, they wanted to stop the growth of the Melaleuca incognitia. So for that, what they have done, they have inserted they have taken the Agrobacterium tumefaciens, and in that Ti plasmid was there. So that Ti plasmid, which is also called as tumor-inducing plasmid, in that a foreign DNA is inserted, which is killing that the protein. That means it should not, it is not allowing to undergo the process of protein there. Okay, and then what happens when it is released inside that Melaleuca incognitia, double-stranded DNA is synthesized. As the double-stranded DNA is synthesized, mRNAs are also synthesized, but they are in double-stranded. But when the single-stranded mRNA is going to synthesize, automatically the growth will occur. Why? Because protein synthesis is going to occur, and you people know proteins are required in every part of the body to get the energy. So likewise the protein is going to produce energy for the nematode. So that protein should be stopped. Protein synthesis should be stopped. That stoppage is done by the insertion of the new DNA in that, and the mRNA is stopped there. So that is called as RNase interference or mRNA splicing. What do we call RNA interference or mRNA splicing? Okay, so this was the revision of the previous class. Okay, now in the today's class we will see the second concept, that is biotechnological application in the field of medicine. So write down heading as biotechnological application. Biotechnological application in the field of medicine. In the field of medicine. Now students, if we see the biotechnological application, if you see the biotechnological application, we are going to see that in the field of medicine, we are going to see the synthesis of vaccines, we are going to see the synthesis of injections. Vaccines means everything will come. Syrup will come, tablet will come, injection will come, everything. Okay, which is curing the diseases. Okay. Apart from this, we have also seen, if you go the big hospitals, if you go, most probably everyone has seen a big hospitals, is it not? And in that hospital, even you go for the common cold and cough and fever, they will nowadays it is a trend with that do the scanning, do the checkup. Okay, everything, that scanner machines, ECG machines. Okay, major machines will be there in the hospitals. So all those machines are called as tools, which is used to recognize the major diseases. And all those tools, how they are developed? By using the biotechnology. If you go for the testing, lab testing, what to say? Doctors used to suggest that do the blood checkup or urine test or whatever sample you give. If you give a sample, what they will do, using the biotechnological knowledge, they are going to do that particular method, and then they used to say that this is the disease caused to you people. Okay, so likewise, not only this, all major diseases like sugar or diabetes you take. Okay, so all these diseases are required the medicines in a larger amount. Why? Because sugar patients are more. Is it not? Thyroid tablets you take. Thyroid patients are more. Then BP tablets you take. BP patients are more. So those tablets, how they are synthesized? If they synthesize in one or two, what to say? If they take 1 or 2 days, okay, it's okay. Synthesis is not much more there. But lifetime tablets we have to take. That means the people has to take. Is it not? So to take the lifetime tablets, it should require in large amount. Is it not? So that large amount of tablets has been synthesized by using this biotechnology. Okay. Simple example. Today I will take one simple example and I'll make you to understand that how it is synthesized. Got my point? Okay. So first is we are going to see which we are going to take which example. What example they have mentioned for your syllabus, that is human insulin. Okay, human insulin they have mentioned for your syllabus. Now students, human insulin nowadays it is also called as, first of all, where it is utilized for the diabetic patients. Okay, human insulin it is utilized for the diabetic patients. So diabetes patients are nowadays in a more amount you are going to see. That means large number of diabetic patients are there. So obviously large number of human insulin is required. So to synthesize the large amount of human insulin, I'll tell you the procedure here. Okay. So nowadays human insulin is also called as humulin. Okay. Nowadays human insulin is also called as humulin. For the first time it has been discovered by the scientist, American company called as Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly is the name of the American company, and for the first time they have discovered this human insulin. Okay. And if we see the structure of the human insulin, totally the human insulin is made up of 84 amino acids. How many amino acids? 84 amino acids are there in the human insulin. And how many chains are there? 3 chains are there. Okay. How many chains we are going to see? 3 chains of human insulin we are going to see. Which are those 3 chains? That is A chain, B chain and C chain. Now in your mind the question may be arise that what is A chain, what is B chain, what is C chain? ABC it is? No. It is alpha chain, it is beta chain and connecting chain. Alpha chain, beta chain and connecting chain. Okay, alpha chain, beta chain and connecting chain. Now here also we have to see that these insulin from where they will take. That is the insulin, to synthesize the insulin, the proinsulin is taken. Okay, from the human being. Proinsulin. Before it was taken from the slaughtered cows. Okay, but it is not so much successful. Why? Because little difference will be there in the animals and the human beings. So nucleotide sequence difference will be there. Okay. So due to the difference in the nucleotide sequence, it is not much successful. So they have dropped that idea and they have taken the proinsulin gene from the human being. Now in your mind question may be arise that where human being, live human being or dead human being. It is obviously after the death of the human body, 6 hours will be there. It will be remain fresh, and within that 6 hours the body parts can be excluded. That means they can be taken outside. Is it not? So here the islets of Langerhans from the pancreas. Okay. So that has been, from there the proinsulin gene is taken out, and then it is stored in the laboratory in a solution, in a liquid nitrogen solution. Then whenever it is required, they used to take that one. Understood? So proinsulin gene is taken. First what they will do, they will take out the proinsulin gene from the human beings, and then this proinsulin gene is inserted inside the, what is this? What I am drawing here? Yes. You have to say before I tell. That is what it is? Plasmid. Okay. So here this plasmid PBR322. So this is the proinsulin gene. Okay. This is the proinsulin gene. This is the plasmid. This is one type of DNA. This is one type of DNA. Now it has become recombinant DNA. Now it has become what? It has become recombinant DNA. Okay. Now whether one insulin gene is enough? No. We have to synthesize that in a larger amount. Then how we will synthesize in a larger amount? By the cloning process. Now students, you people know very well what is the meaning of cloning. That is, the offspring is genetically and morphologically similar to the parental cell. Now see here, this plasmid we have taken. Which is the host cell we are using in the biotechnology? It is the E. coli bacteria. Is it not? So Escherichia coli bacteria we are taking. E. coli bacteria, imagine. Okay. Now this recombinant DNA is inserted inside the E. coli bacteria. Now students, please tell me that how many number of recombinant plasmid is multiplied in the each bacterial cell. Of course, it is 30 number of plasmids. Okay, it is 30 number of plasmids. So 30 number of daughter plasmids has been synthesized by only one parental recombinant plasmid. Okay, now how many it has become in one bacteria? 30. Okay, now imagine, see, plasmid is inserted inside the bacteria, only one bacteria. Within that one bacteria, how many number of plasmids are synthesized? Recombinant DNA is synthesized. That is 30 number. This is the one bacteria. One bacteria, 30 number. That same bacteria undergoes the process called as binary fission. And it is not necessary to explain what is binary fission. Already you people have understood so many times. Hope so you have got that one. Binary fission. That what is binary fission? From one parental cell to two daughter cells. Okay. Now, if they are dividing into two daughter cells, what should be the similar? Cytoplasm should divide equally. Bacterial also, nuclear also divide equally. Then plasmids should also distribute equally. Okay. Now, imagine that two daughter cells are produced here. Okay. So, in 30 I have told, one daughter cell 30 bacteria. So, if you imagine that two daughter cells have got 15 recombinant plasmid. Okay. 15 recombinant plasmid, 15 also they are undergoing the cloning. That means 1 producing 30, 1 producing 30. Like that million number of recombinant plasmids are produced. Okay, and those million numbers of recombinant plasmids are multiplied in the bacteria. Okay, then those bacteria are taken to the bioreactor. Don't tell that what is bioreactor. Please don't ask this question. Already I have told on the board by using the chalk and the board. I have told what is bioreactor and what is the diagram of the bioreactor. Also I have explained what is bioreactor. Please, if you have not seen, see the previous class. Okay. So we are taking all these bacteria, we are taking all the chemicals, and then we are putting that in the bioreactor. Then motor will be there, switch will be there, we'll on the switch, then the flat blade impeller, that means spoon like structure will be there inside the bioreactor. It will just mix, okay, elaborately, and then product is synthesized. How you will come to know that product is synthesized? Towards outlet, towards below, small outlet will be there. That if you put on that outlet, then it will the product will come, and immediately what happens? The what to say? We'll see that whether the product is synthesized or not. Okay. Now, when the product is synthesized, suppose imagine that all the proinsulin genes are taken, grown in the bacteria, and these bacteria are put in the they have what to say, poured in the bioreactor, and in the bioreactor the insulin gene has been synthesized. Insulin has been synthesized. But along with the insulin, certain other unwanted materials also will be there. Getting my point? Along with the insulin, certain other unwanted materials also will be there. We have to remove that unwanted material. How we are removing? For example, imagine this is the insulin chain. A chain is there, C chain is there, B chain is there. But along with this, we are seeing the one enzyme called as beta galactosidase. We don't want beta galactosidase. Why do we require in the insulin? So insulin is made up of what? 3 chains, only 3 chains. It is A chain, B chain and a C chain. We want only A chain, B chain, C chain. That is the insulin. But we have the beta galactosidase is here. We want to remove now. Beta galactosidase we don't want. So we have to remove now. What we'll do? We'll take the trypsin chemical. We'll take the trypsin and carboxypeptidase B. Okay, we'll take the trypsin and carboxypeptidase B enzymes to remove the beta galactosidase enzyme. Understood? Anti-enzymes we are taking to remove that one. Now, after removing, what is remaining? A chain, B chain, C chain. Now, this chain should be in the pure form. It is not in the pure form still. It is not in its original form still. It should be in the pure form. So to occur that, to come in the pure form, they are using which chemical component? Cyanogen bromide solution. Okay, cyanogen bromide solution is utilized here, and the insulin is coming into the pure form. That is, it is the A chain, it is the B chain. C chain is converted into disulfide linkage bonds. The C chain is converted into disulfide linkage bonds. Have you got this? Have you got this? So this is the insulin synthesis process. Actually, it is not there for your theory, but to understand that how the medicine is synthesized in a larger amount, to see that one, I have explained the insulin synthesis process. Getting my point? So once again I'll repeat, please concentrate. So here we are going to see the concept called as insulin synthesis. In that insulin synthesis we are going to see the presence of three chains, that is A chain, B chain and the C chain. Okay, and insulin is useful for the diabetes patient to cure the diabetes. And here we are going to see that insulin gene is taken in the plasmid. Plasmid is inserted inside the bacteria. Bacteria are multiplied. They are added in the bioreactor. Then in the bioreactor, when the product is synthesized, unwanted material is there. We want to remove that unwanted material, and how we are removing? By using the trypsin and the carboxypeptidase B. And after the removal, the pure form of insulin we need. So here three chains are arranged in the form of two chains, that is A chain and the B chain, and C chain is in the form of disulfide linkage bond. Okay, so this is the process. So next is we are going to see the insulin structure. Okay. Well, I have said that process of insulin synthesis. Now we will see exactly the structure of insulin synthesis, which is very important for the final exam for 3 marks. Right now, heading structure of insulin. Okay, now draw the diagram. So this is the diagram. Okay. Now these are the, actually I have to draw it in a larger way. Disulfide linkage bonds. Okay. And this one is called as A chain, which is consisting of 21 amino acids. This is called as C chain, which is consisting of 33 amino acids. Okay, here cleavage occurs. Here once again, here also cleavage occurs, and here we are going to see the B chain, which is consisting of 33 amino acids. 33 amino acids. Okay. A chain, B chain and the C chain. Now, if we see separately, this is the A chain. Okay. 21 amino acids plus B chain, B chain is consisting of 33 amino acids, and here the C chain will be there, which is consisting of Sorry, C chain should be 30. Okay, A chain, B chain and C chain. Total it has to become 84. 30 amino acids are present in the C chain. So this is the structure. What you have to draw in the final exam, and it is very important for 3 marks. Okay, it is important for 3 marks. It is the insulin structure. Which is consisting of 3 parts: A chain, 21 amino acids. So these are called as disulfide linkage bonds. What these are called? Disulfide linkage bonds. Here the cleavage. Cleavage means division. What is cleavage here? Division. And the B chain is there. That is 33 amino acids. So totally on the whole, so how many it will become? 21, 30, 33. 84 amino acids. Okay. Then the insulin, we have got 84 amino acids. You have to note it down. This diagram is very important, and along with the explanation. Okay. So today we have completed what? Structure of insulin. In the next class we will see the gene therapy. In the field of medicine, the gene therapy has made its own what to say, modern technique. It has made its own importance. What do we say? Therapy means what? Treatment. Okay, what is the meaning of therapy? Treatment. So this treatment, if any genetical disorders are there, then that can be treated very easily. That is called as gene therapy. In detail, we will see this gene therapy in the next class. In the today's class, this is very important. Please note it down. This is very important. Process is not important. Process is important for the NEET and the CET. But this structure is very important. You have to note it down in the today's class. Okay? Well.